So, welcome to Sketching with me in Lagos, a beautiful Jacaranda tree. It's really an amazing tree with beautiful purple lila flowers, and I really thought, oh wow, I have to sketch that. And that's how I mostly choose what I want to sketch, is when I have this wow feeling, and I think I must have this in my sketchbook. So these flowers are very important. Of course, it's the main reason I want to sketch this. So I made the page wet with water spray and splashed the purple flowers on the wet page. As purple, I use Rose of Ultramarine, and I add some shell pink to make it more lively, but you can of course mix your own purple with a beautiful red and ultramarine blue or another transparent blue. And then I will paint the branches. Look very well in what direction the branches are going and how thick they are, so you can make it look natural. For the branches, I use the beautifully granulating brown Tiger's Eye G9 by Daniel Smith, and I will add some water-soluble graphite in it. It's a graphite paste made by Viarco Portugal, so it's Portuguese. And this graphite paste is very granulating. And if you add it in watercolor, it really adds a great texture in the watercolor. So again, now I sketch the tree trunk and I look in what direction the trunk and the branches are going. I use a long sable rigger brush, and it's very long natural hair. It holds up a lot of water and paint, and I hold it quite vertically so I can have a good control over the tip of the brush to make it go where I want to go. To help you have control over the tip of the brush, you can keep your pinky finger on the page while you hold the brush over your page, and so you can control the pressure better. Look well in what direction the branches are going and how thin they are in the end. In the end, the branches are really skinny and thin. If it's not possible to do this with the brush, you can also, of course, make them with a simple pencil, a color pencil or a graphite pencil. I force myself to keep this quite simple and suggest a pavement and some flowers on the ground, and then we will sketch the house behind it. I finished the ends of the thin branches in pencil. Look well in what direction they are going. They are going a bit down towards the ground. They're going a bit down towards the ground because they're very skinny, and the graphite pencil makes it much easier to draw skinny branches than it is with the brush. Now I paint the house. I draw first with the brush because I want it to stay in the background, and I use titanium buff. Titanium buff is a nice beige color by Daniel Smith. It's a really sandy color, so it's perfect for the natural stone of the house. So I first draw with the brush, and then I will add some textured lines with the pencil to make the lines a bit stronger. but drawing with the brush makes me concentrate much better and it's much more fun for me. So now I draw with the pencil in the wet paint. And I draw the balcony with the graphite pencil. I try to suggest the beautiful ironwork of the balcony, but without really detailing it too stiffly. I just want to suggest that it's a beautiful ironwork balcony. So I want to be careful not to make the house go into the tree too much, because the house must stay on the background behind the tree. And I will not detail all the windows. I will detail only one beautiful window on the first floor on the balcony, because the other ones are behind the tree. In reality, there are other windows more visible, but I simplify this sketch. Again, we are not copy machines, we just want to have fun and make a nice sketch. So it doesn't really matter if it's not totally correct. The doors on the ground floor from the shop are not beautiful, so I won't detail them. I will only make a shadow in them. For the shadow in the windows, as it's daytime, it's quite dark. I mean, it's dark inside the house, and I use my shadow gray, which is my mixture of ultramarine blue and transparent orange. Now I will sketch the tiles in the facade, and to suggest the tiles in the facade, I will make the paper a bit wet first, randomly wet, not totally wet, and then I will suggest the tiles by drawing thin blue lines in the partially wet paper. They structure the facade. I use ultramarine blue and cerulean blue, and I splash a bit also different kinds of blue. When I splash, I hold my finger over the window because I don't want any splash tiles in the window. And I try not to go too much over the flowers. I also add some turquoise blue, and I vary the intensity of the colors and of the line work to make the sketch more exciting and more happy. And I also draw a bit with watercolor pencil in the wet paint. When you make a sketch with a foreground and a background, like here, the tree is in the foreground and building is in the background. Be careful that the foreground stays in the foreground. So I don't want to sketch over the branches and the flowers with my building, otherwise the building will mingle with the tree and you won't see what is in front of what. And at last, don't forget your shadows.